So, it's been a while since I've made a video. Lots been going on, and I alluded to some things, and I'll talk about it here while I video a loose hen. Trying to get her to come back this way and maybe go in the door and not let any of the other ones get out. But I refilled their feeder, and I tossed some stuff on the ground, feed on the ground, and then when I emptied a bucket of veggies, they freaked out and went flapping all over the place, and that one flew out. That little lid right there is where I open it up to do their water and feed. And she'll come back around. And hopefully she'll get back in. She's trying to get back in. Just don't want anything else to happen to her. If it was a rooster, I probably would just let him stay out all night. We got several roosters that if I can't rehome or sell, they're going into the freezer camp. They're pretty birds though. Anyway, I have granddaughters. I was told not to get attached. Everything, it's about almost like every month they may be going somewhere else. And I can't talk about the status of this stuff, but my daughter and son-in-law are now legal guardians of a 12 and 11-year-old girls. And I've been wanting granddaughters, so I ran with it. I was told not to get attached because there's no telling how long they're going to be with me. And I said, it's okay. You have kids, your heart's going to get broken in so many different ways, and so many, just having kids. She's getting all wound up. See, she's coming back. So I'm going to kind of back off, but the thing is, if I back off too much, the other ones may get out. But it's about getting time for them to roost. So, backing up some more. Sorry about the photography. So, where was I? So it's still up in the air as to how long they're going to stay. And there's some other... the children are not biologically related to either my daughter or my son-in-law. There's no connection. But their father approached them about taking the girls in because he wasn't capable of... I think he was sleeping on someone's couch. There was no way he could take care of the girls, and it was just a really odd situation that I don't feel that I should get into more detail than that, except where it affects me. And my heart just broke. The more I learned of their story, the more my heart just broke for them, and the angrier. There's some people I would really like to smack over the head with a stick. If that would do any good, I would, but it would just make them dumber. So, it may make me feel better for just a little bit, but I'm really not a violent person. But seriously, things like that just, oh my gosh. If there was a way to knock sense into people, I'd be walking around with a stick. I would be violent. So anyway, oh, she was starting to come this way. I'm going to try to walk around. Came this way. No. She was going back. Okay. Yes, go that way. Go that way. Go that way. Yes, she's in. Got her in. Okay. I can outsmart a chicken. But giving smarts to humans, different story. Yeah, okay. See, they're now going into roost. I don't think they knew what to do with the veggies. I was going to go in there and sit down and look for some things, but it's all locked and I don't have the keys. So I'll just finish when you have kids, your heart's going to be broken. Even if you have the best kids in the whole wide world and they never give you any real problems. I mean, they don't become drug addicts or violent or schizophrenic or don't get any mental disorders. They're going to do things, even the best of kids. They're just going to do stuff that you're just going to go, oh man, you know it's going to be bad. You know it's just not going to, and your heart breaks for them. And sometimes if you try to interfere, there's a certain way you can and cannot interfere with kids, especially when your kids are grown and you see stuff and you try to tell them, impart some wisdom for their own benefit, and trying to get things across. So I said, I'm just going to love these girls. I know that my heart's going to be broken if and when they leave. And the thing though is, they're not going to move down the road or the way their father is going. I don't see him being able to get them back. Unless he can support himself, there's no way he can support the girls, even anyway. So, it's been, when I start getting overwhelmed with things that are so out of my control, what happens with these girls later down the road, whenever, if ever, it was just snowballing on me. So I started playing a couple of online games actually. June's Journey and Pearl's Perils. And that's a coping mechanism, and I've gotten really good at both games, and I'm leveling up, and now I'm in a group, and blah, 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 and I've been playing 48 days now since I started. And I so look forward to my next time online, and it's distracted me from actually getting other stuff done. I still get things done, but it's a game. And I've even been tempted to spend like a $3 thing to get this big bundle of savings to get coins and cash and tickets and what else? Something else. Anyway, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to refrain from spending money on it. It's already spending my time. But that's what's going on. And overall, it's good. Having the girls, there's so much, there's certain things, I wish I could tell you all the stories. It's amazing what they know, that they honestly shouldn't know, and the things that they were never taught. And their mother died 3 years ago, so this has been a really, really sad situation. And so some of the things we were just talking about, Laura Ingalls Wilder and the Little House on the Prairie TV show, and no, they didn't know what I was talking about. I know that's a different generation thing, but when kids are allowed to watch Game of Thrones at 10 and 11, seriously, I don't agree with that. And if you're one of those people who think that that's okay for a 10 or 11-year-old to watch, I don't watch the show. I read the books, and I know that it's even worse. And I just don't want that imagery. If you like the show, that's great. If you're letting your teenager, maybe, it all depends on the teenager. But when you're letting an adolescent, young person watch that kind of stuff, it's not right. I see that as a form of child abuse or neglect at the very best. So there's certain things they've just been exposed to. I'm trying to get them reading. I've been buying them books. Took them to the library. I took them shopping, bought a lot of clothes, showing them shopping. And I didn't want to be looked at as a bank. And so I make them do things, nothing big. In fact, I just helped them, they just helped me clear out a little space by just moving some boxes for me. And we take them to church most Sundays. They don't want to go, they want to stay home. But we take them, my husband and I, and spend time with them, have lunch with them most of the time after church, and trying to do things and impart stuff. And the younger one asked this morning why, we had to take him to church. What was the, why? And I said, I want you to think about that. And her response was, because you said so. And I said, well, that's one reason. But I want you to think about why we want to take you to church. Because they never had that. And the older one was asked to join someone she kind of knew to be a helper in one of the younger class, Sunday school rooms. And I told her no. And she's like, why can't I? And I said, because I know you've not read the Bible. I know you don't know any of these stories, because they had no church experience, good or bad. They said that they did go to church with some friends, but no, they didn't. I bought them Bibles, and I'm not trying to indoctrinate them. Honestly, I want them to understand what I believe and why I believe it slowly. They were offered to go up in the classroom, but now they're too old to go up there. Since the school year started, the church also changed it. Now they've kind of aged out already. So but they wanted to sit with me, and I let them sit with me, and I took coloring things as long as they were just listening to the preacher, drawing, even writing notes to each other and behaving. That was fine with me. And my husband and I would discuss things that we heard for ourselves. And if they were, little kids, little ears, big ears actually. So just trying to expose them to different things. I took them to a tea party. That was not cheap. That's what, $26, $24 a person. So I took them and my daughter and my grandson. He actually was like, there's food, he'd go. He had nothing better to do. So the 15-year-old went to the tea party too, and he was such a good gentleman. I'm so proud of him. And just trying to expose the girls to some good things, and then hearing things like the older one said that she's stupid. I was like, what? She said she was told she was stupid. And I was like, who? And she clammed up because she knew I was about to go off on somebody. And I was like, no. I said, I said, do you think I'm a liar? Do you think I tell lies at all, ever, for any reasons? And she's like, no, you're not a liar. And I said, you're not stupid. The other person's a liar. I don't care who said it. They lied, because you're not stupid. I've seen you. I see how your mind works. I see how you ask questions. You still got a lot to learn. It doesn't mean you're all-knowing. Just, smart does not mean that. It means you can solve problems, you can do things, you can figure out things. That's what being smart is. And whoever told you were stupid was wrong. I was very livid when I heard that. And there's some things that we don't know. We kind of suspect some stuff, but, oh, Lord, Jesus says if someone hurts a child, it's better that a millstone be tied around their neck and they be thrown in the ocean, because honestly, I agree with that. That's these girls have had a hard enough time, and anyone who's contributed to making their lives worse, I want to do a smackdown. Oh gosh, that just makes me so mad. So that was the news. I'm a grandmother to, my grandkids doubled back in June. It's been a whirlwind. I am totally in love with them. I treat them as my grandkids. I introduce them as my grandkids. They don't call me grandma. They're still calling me Miss Vivian or sometimes Vivian. And I kind of talk to them, because in the South that's wrong. You don't call a child that age, cannot call an adult by their first name. Y'all can do that up north. Y'all can do that in other countries. Y'all can do that wherever. In the South, that's bad manners. So I said, you can. These are the things you can call me. And it's up to them. I'm not forcing it. I introduce them as my granddaughters. And if they still want to call me Miss Vivian, that's fine. I love them regardless. I'm not making them say one thing or another pertaining to me. And they know I've got their back. That I do love them, and I'm doing whatever I can to make their lives better. And just trying to teach them. And the older one, oh my gosh, she was on medications, and my daughter was right out going, "Why is she on these?" And they said she couldn't sleep. So it's the anti-seizure med that was supposed to help her sleep. No, she didn't need it. She's off of it. She's doing great. She sleeps fine. Their tablets get confiscated at a certain hour every night, gets put away in the living room so they don't even have access to it. And the TV is not allowed on after a certain time in their room. And they have to have their homework done. They have to do certain things. They're doing great. So, sleeping fine, no need to medication. Anyway, it's been a lot. And I have to get my emotions in check and not be overwhelmed with all the what ifs and certain things that come up, and I'm just like, okay, trying to do that. Just love them, try to do the best I can in this situation for them. And that's it. So from chicken wrangling to getting granddaughters that I may not get to keep for too long, and how heartbreaking that is to me, just thinking of, oh man, I could lose it right now just thinking about them going away somewhere, away from us. I don't see them staying in the area. So it's just an odd situation. And I'm just glad that whatever time I've got with them, I just need to enjoy it and be blessed by it, and be a blessing to them. I've given them books that I put my name, address, and phone number in. Because they both had birthdays last month, 2 weeks apart. They're a year and 2 weeks apart in age. So they were 11 and 10, and then 12, and then shortly after 11, 12 and 11 now. And I just adore them. I do. So, what kind of summer have you been having? I'm just walking up here, enjoying the nature, outdoors, the mosquitoes, feeding the mosquitoes. We survived Dorian, no problem. We just got a little bit of rain. We could have used a lot more rain. A little bit of wind, not much more. We've had worse thunderstorms. We had a huge thunderstorm come through in July, and one of my roosters died. Found him dead next day. So I still got to do some chicken shuffle and do a chicken video. This technically isn't a chicken video, even though I did some wrangling. An update. I've got some silky mixes with Easter eggers that I wanted to breed. And the rooster that died was the only silky rooster that I knew was 100% silky. The rest of them are iffy in their genetics. So I don't know what all. But the ones that I've bred, hatched out, and they have a rooster's a silky mix. But he's bigger than standard. And these are all the ones I hatched out, except for the silky ones that are down with the silkies. So they're all getting settled in for the night. It's starting to get dark for my camera. Thanks for joining me. Hope your fall is starting out nicely and you be a blessing and be blessed.